Greetings, everyone. My name's Jed Shlackman. I work as a mental health counselor as well as a hypnotherapist and an energy healer. So I'm presenting a holistic approach to health and well-being. And I want to speak a little bit today about the basic framework, the outline of how I see the mind, body, spirit, energy all interconnected. If we think about our physical body, what's actually creating this physical form, what's energizing it, what's allowing all the cells, the organs, tissues in our body to function. Ultimately, we can look at creation as a product or manifestation of consciousness. Many people have beliefs in what they call God or a creator, a supreme being, some primal source, a spiritual intelligence that created all that we're perceiving in our reality. If we look at the reality around us, it's very natural and logical to conclude that there is an intelligent design that underlies all of our existence. So if we consider that there is some spiritual consciousness that's creating everything from a certain level, then we can explore what is the mechanics, in a sense, of how all of that operates and manifests. How is this physical form? How is my body? How is the computer in front of me being generated as something that appears to exist in a material sense? In physics, they talk a lot about how energy is fundamental to everything, how a physical particle, in a sense, is really just condensed vibration or slowed down vibration, crystallized or condensed energy in that sense. If we think about an atom, the very basic particle of matter, that atom has, in a sense, electricity. It has electrons, it has protons, neutrons. So it has this little mini system of energy creation occurring. So where is the energy coming from to form that atom, right? The atom in and of itself doesn't have a fundamental existence and creates energy out of itself. It's more the other way around, that there's some subtle, less tangible or less physical form of energy that's coming in to create this particle in this physical reality that we perceive that appears to be real. So energy, in a way, is driven or governed by consciousness, by thought, by feeling or emotion, by imagination. If we think about many different metaphysical teachings, you'll find that many of them tell us the same basic concept, that our physical reality, in a certain context or way of perceiving or understanding things, is actually an illusion. In some of the Eastern traditions, they refer to it as Maya, Maya being the illusion, what we're perceiving with our senses, that's really a projection coming from some deeper level of consciousness. So consciousness infuses this flow of energy into this density or this dimension of reality, where vibration slows down to a degree that we can have this experience of time and space. If we think about this in the context of health and healing, we know that our emotions, our thoughts can affect what's happening in our physical body. People can be hypnotized to not feel pain. People can have beliefs in a treatment, and the belief in the treatment influences whether that treatment works or not, so the placebo effect and the nocebo effects. So our thoughts are shaping what's happening in our body, and that's because our thoughts are really just a layer of this system of energy. You could think of it in terms of octaves of energy or harmonics, where one layer of energy has a resonance or a ripple effect into the other layers. So your thoughts affect your emotions affect this electromagnetic energy that's circulating through your body, or that's pulsing through your body in some sense. So that flow and current of energy is going through every cell, every part of your body, and when it's flowing smoothly, your body's functioning well. When there's some type of disruption or disturbance, when you're under some substantial stress or experience some form of trauma that interrupts the natural flow of the energy, it creates patterns of distortion and resistance in the energy, and then that gets reflected in your physiology. The way your body is functioning starts to change. So you're feeling anxious, and you get a tightness in your stomach, and then you get indigestion. That's a kind of simple example of that pathway, or that flow chart in a sense, of how your consciousness is influencing this field and flow of energy, how that's having an effect in your physical body. So for those that are looking for some help or some form of healing, it's very valuable to work with your consciousness and energy. In my healing practice, I encourage people to address things on really all levels. So on the physical level, you might change your diet or your lifestyle. You might eat more nutritious and nourishing foods. You might go outside and exercise more and get sunlight. You might be drinking purified water to get a benefit from that. There's many different things we can do physically that are going to affect our physical body function. But everything we're doing physically is in some way impacted by or limited by what's happening energetically and psychologically. If there's no current of energy flowing through your body, then whatever chemistry you're trying to input into your body may not have much or any effect. So the energy flow, the energy waves going through your body are really vital to your health, and those in turn are dependent on your consciousness. If you're feeling extremely depressed, extremely anxious, that's going to have a major effect on the energy flow, on the energy centers and energy circuits going through your body. So working on the psychological part is really vital to our health. If we're stuck in some state of chronic anxiety, chronic grief, or depression, that's going to limit the flow of energy. It's going to constrict our body's ability to function, to do all the things that it needs to do to maintain a state of optimal health. So if you're chronically in those distorted emotional states or energy states, then over time you'll start to see some impact on how the body is functioning. The effects may not appear immediately, but you're experiencing a lot of fear, a lot of anger, a lot of sadness, and it's persisting, then over time it's going to take some toll on your body. So if we can cultivate some core beliefs about ourselves and about life that will uplift our emotional state, that can have a beneficial effect upon our health. So if you have more life-affirming beliefs, more self-affirming beliefs, if you believe in your own essential spiritual nature, we could say, if you feel that you're connected to a greater divine intelligence that loves you, that values you, that accepts you no matter what faults you might see in yourself, or no matter what weaknesses you might believe you have, no matter what actions you might have taken at some past time of your life that you might regret now. If you can make peace with all of that, if you can have greater self-acceptance, greater appreciation for the process of life, for your own evolution, seeing yourself more in that positive way, and having more trust in life, perceiving that life is happening to help us grow and evolve, to help us appreciate and understand ourselves more fully, and to use that awareness to release any self-limiting beliefs we might have, any fears we might carry about expressing ourselves or asserting ourselves, working on all those particular issues that are in any way constricting our self-expression or self-worth. That can have a great benefit in the process of healing whatever issues you might be addressing or working on, whether they're physical health concerns or mental health concerns. Really, the core of many things can be traced to belief patterns, to the way we think about ourselves, the way we see life, the way even we see other people. If we're very judgmental and condemning toward other people, that will often have a negative effect upon ourselves. If we have a concept or understanding of the wholeness of creation, that everything and everyone are in some way expressions of one infinite source, so we're all in a way connected to each other, and if we're judging and condemning someone else, it's as though we're actually condemning some aspect of our own being or our own self. Then you could see how the way we're thinking about and feeling about other people is actually having an impact on ourself, including on our own physical form, our own body. So the more that we can be in a state of love and acceptance, of gratitude for all of life, compassion for ourselves and others, no matter how we might perceive the actions or activities of other people, to still understand that they're also a part of the creative process, a part of what you could call God or the infinite self. They're not separate from you, and ideally we all grow and evolve and recognize our true self, what you could call our divine nature, our essential wholeness. So if we can carry that spiritual understanding more into our daily life experience, that will help bring ourselves into greater balance, into greater harmony within our own being, and also into greater harmony with the flow of life itself. where we're not in resistance to life, we're not struggling with or fighting with life, we're trusting that life has a greater wisdom and intelligence behind it. Everything that's manifesting has some positive purpose to it, even when there's some unpleasant aspect to our experience of it. So infusing that understanding or consciousness into our everyday life will support our health, our ability to be in balance within ourselves, to be in the flow of life, to actually access more of our own innate energy, and to use that energy to create things here in this physical life experience. We're all really co-creators with the infinite creator, with that source of spiritual intelligence, whatever you want to label it. So we all can manifest more balance, more harmony, more well-being in our own life. It's just a matter of making these shifts in our consciousness, facilitating shifts in our energy. We can work on multiple levels to help create those shifts. Some of it is things that we can do physically that are going to nurture our body. So having physical movement, nutritious food and fresh water, things like that. Exposure to natural energy frequencies, so the full spectrum of sunlight, for example. Those are all catalysts for well-being on the physical level, and those also can have a ripple effect on our consciousness. So when you're treating your body well and nurturing it, you'll start to feel better, and that can uplift your emotional state, and you'll naturally start to think more positively when you're physically feeling better. When our physical body is feeling distressed or drained, it's hard to have a more positive psychological state, and then vice versa. If your psychological state is negative, then your physical body starts to reflect that. So we can create the shift by intervening on any level. You can do things physically to uplift your psychology, you can do things psychologically to improve your physical functioning. It's all kind of interrelated. So I encourage you to consider these different levels or layers of your own being and what things you can do that are going to create these shifts in your energy and consciousness. It could be something on a purely energetic level, such as sound vibration or prana or energy type healing, working with your chi or life force. That could be done with things like Reiki, with breathing exercises. So we can shift the way we're feeling just by shifting energy, by moving energy through our aura and through our body. And things that inspire us, it could be something like reading a book that's inspiring to you, watching a movie that's inspiring, listening to music that's uplifting. So whatever triggers that positive shift in your consciousness, it could be spending time with people that you love and care about. So all of those things have an effect on our consciousness. I hope that this talk here has given you some things to contemplate, some ideas for how you could shift your life experience in a way that's more pleasant or more desirable. For those that are interested in additional information, about holistic health and healing, personal growth, you can visit my website, phinsights.com. That's phinsights.com. For now, I want to wish everyone a wonderful day. Namaste.